And today is a sew with me like we normally do. And I'm going to have a little bit of Q&A also like we normally do. And of course, I have to come up with a title, right? So I just put adjust straps. But truth be known, I'm just going to show you how I based the straps in preparation for an appointment. I have to do that on this dress and the next dress, among other things in preparation for their appointment. So basically what I do when we are months away from them getting married, okay, I think this bride is like 5 months out. The next bride is like 7 months out. And we know the straps are going to change, right? I just go ahead and just kind of baste it where it's going to be so that it kind of feels right on her for the appointment. And what I usually do is I just kind of pinch it on them. And then I said, like, there's about 1.25 inches folded. Okay. So obviously it doubles the length, what I'm actually taking out. But I just do it like this. And I leave the tab on the outside. Again, this is just kind of like basted. I leave it on the outside. That way, when she comes, I can just pinch it and make adjustments there. So I'm literally just going to use like a nice, thick, gnarly piece of thread to do this. It doesn't have to be anything fancy schmancy. And I'm going to go ahead and tack this. This is not how we would take in a strap, right? Nobody does this, right? This would look terrible because she would literally have this sticking out at her back. So basically what I do is I just tell them, like, when they get there, I'll be like, so I just have your straps tacked just so they're not like slipping and stuff during your fitting. And so the dress is at the right height for the progress we need to make, but don't judge the strap tension, that kind of thing. So don't forget, hit the thumbs up, and also say hello to everyone. You guys can chat and meet and greet each other in the comments. You can say where you're from. And here in just a little bit, I will look back and see where everybody's from and see what questions you have as well. Let me just see here. Open up the chat. So yeah, if you guys have any greetings or any questions, drop them down in there. I do kind of have a lot going on today. I've got someone else here today who was trying to take care of some print projects for me. And of course, it's like Murphy's Law. Everything that can go wrong does go wrong. And so she's out getting more ink. We put in a new cartridge. Did the cartridge have any red in it? No, it didn't. No red. It was blue. It would only print blue. So she had to go get a new cartridge and things are running behind. So I may have to step aside for a moment to help with the printer. You know how printers are. They're terrible. They cause trouble, don't they? All right. Let's get this here. Just going to tack this, and then we're going to put this one away. She has a quick little try on. We're going to press this for her and judge her hem. Her dress is really, really wrinkled. So and the hem is pretty close to being right. So we didn't feel comfortable judging the hem until we get the crinoline seamed and the dress pressed out. So we have to do that for her. But other than that, we're done. Look at this. We got some little tangly thread today. All right. I'm going to put this away and I'll get the next dress out. Hello to everyone who is joining. Let me know if my audio is doing okay. Also, I am doing that lapel mic again. So let me know if it's working. It's kind of nice because I can step away from the phone like this. But if it's just too loud or isn't working right, you just let me know. And we can switch to the regular phone audio. You can hear it's like some ASMR. ASMR gown bag stuff going on. All right, let's see. There's that. This dress. Ooh. There's some work I can do on this dress. This is button and loops. Button and loops. Let's check this one out. Then, like I said, I've got one more dress that I need to base the straps to. Nice. How is everybody? Are you guys starting to get clobbered for spring? The spring rush? Or are you still in your slow times? I do have a short virtual retreat coming up. Oh, these loops are nice. We'll just need to work on the buttons. I do have a short virtual retreat coming up for those of you who were wanting to know about that. Oh, these just need to be like sewn back down. They were just sewn terribly. Okay. So I was going to do a short 2-day retreat. Trying to think. I put it in my calendar. I think it was the last Monday and Tuesday of January. But honestly, there were so many other things going on in the sewing education community that I was like, okay, let's just push this back. I don't want too much overlap. So I did mark some days in February. You guys keep an eye out on my Instagram at Bridal Sewing and also on here. And I'll let you guys know when I publish my retreat dates. So there's 2 days it's the beginning of February, and it's going to be about like greatly increasing the amount of money that you make. So it's going to be the financial one. Yes. And then I have another one that is, I think it's in July. That's going to just be a few days. And then I have another week-long retreat, like what we did this past year right after Thanksgiving. We're going to do a week-long retreat. And I think this coming one for 2023, I think I put it down before Thanksgiving. That way, if after Thanksgiving didn't work for some people, maybe before Thanksgiving will. But I will be publishing those dates sometime in the next few days. So keep a lookout on those. And I am also going to offer early bird specials this time. So if you purchase your ticket early bird, then you will get a discount. So I do not like the way these buttons are sewn. Do you see how they're sewn independently? And they're literally, each one is knotted off and has a tail. That is crazy. Like, I don't think the running stitch running through here looks that bad. I would rather that than this. Do you agree? Put that in the comments. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to stitch right along behind all of these other stitches. And I'm going to stitch, like stitch lock, and then run through this fold here. Stitch lock, run through the fold, stitch lock, run through the fold. So that's what I'm going to do here. And then when I'm done, I'm just going to cut all of these threads off at the quick. And then that way, if the thread were to give up, that's okay. It's still sewn. But I'm not going to like take these off and then try to reposition them. Oh no. So here we go. And if this thread is as tangly for these as it was a few minutes ago, I'm also going to switch thread. Don't put up with that, guys. If you're doing a project and your thread just keeps being rotten, switch your thread. There's no sense in putting up with that for, 3 hours or whatever it is you're doing. These just need to be a lot tighter too. I am like shocked at the way they put these on. All right, so there's that. I just stitched through. I've got my thread is doubled over. I think this is a Tex 40 thread and my size 1 needle. All right, so then I'm going to like knot this off just to kind of put a stop there. And then I'm going to tunnel between the layers here and come up for air right behind that next button. And I'm going to do another little stop. That way that doesn't happen, right? You don't want to be buttoning and the buttons are like jerking up the next button, right? All right. Here we go. So you guys fill in your questions because like I said, I didn't do some complicated, huge sewing project for this week. So this week is all about your questions mostly. I'm sure there's some on here that are learning right now about how we put these buttons on. And that's great. And you're wondering like, oh, that's how they don't draw up. But for the most part, most of you are going to be really bored if you just only watch me do this for an hour. So I'm going to stop here in a second and check the questions. And don't forget, even if you have a question that requires like a sketch or something, I'm game. That's fine. I can sketch out whatever it is that you're asking about so that you can know what's going on there. And I actually normally sew a lot tighter than this. I mean, like this, instead of being so open. I'm trying to sew kind of open for those of you who are trying to watch what I'm doing so you can see what's going on. All right, so I've got that tight. Dig through. Put our little stop in there. There we go. Whew, 3 buttons in, guys. I also find when you're sewing anything to do with like beads or buttons or whatever, I find it's kind of easier to keep your thread a little bit short. Like I would never try to sew this with a super long thread. Like certainly not any longer than what I have right now. Just because it gets tangled on the other buttons or sequins or beads or whatever. So here's this. And that. Hand stitching like this is kind of like mesmerizing, isn't it? It's kind of relaxing. There we go. All right, let me just check the comments here. Hello, Letty Angel. She's saying salutations. Hello. Salutations from León, Guanajuato, Mexico. Did I say that right, Letty? All right. Welcome. How fun to have somebody from Mexico. Thank you for joining us today. Also, it's the middle of the night for Kate in Australia, Kate's Alterations. She joins us, but she has to catch the replay usually. So, Kate, when you're listening to this, happy birthday. I saw that she had a birthday one day this week, so that was pretty cool. I hope her husband and kids spoiled her to death. Spoiled. And as always, if you're watching the replay and you didn't get in on it and you have a question, you can pop it in the comments. Still, I'm very active in my comments. If it is a detailed sewing question, guys, I do prefer those in my Instagram DMs because that way I can do voice memo and send sketches back. It's a lot harder after the fact to answer a question. It's super easy to answer a question like a sourcing question, right? Because I can just send you a link. Yeah. Here we go. This is making such a difference in these buttons. I can really feel a big difference. I feel like having that running stitch behind there really kind of helps stabilize things. There's a little bit less bounce to it. So I really like doing it this way. I love the buttons that have the back of the button like bagged like that. I think that's so nice looking. They match so much better than like that metal showing, you know? All right, now I'm going to knock this off It'll be really easy for me to put this down and figure out where I stopped, because I've got that I can see the shadow of that running stitch in there. And then I'm just going to hide the tail like that. All right. Nice. This is how I do my temporary hang loops too. If I'm still having to adjust the sides, I just cut a ribbon and do that. So, goodness, here come the questions rolling in. Let's see. Irene, BST Bestie, hello. She says, do you have any tips for an extremely long train on a petite bride? We decided on an under bustle. I've added 3 snaps to fold the train length in half. Wow. And then 5 loops and ribbons for the rest. So you're like going under twice. That's amazing. Yeah, I really feel like for bustles, there's different ways you can go. Some people like to just like measure and kind of do like the mathematical thing. They get very like technical with it in that regard. I'm more of like design, like what looks good. So I feel like a lot of my bustling happens with me literally just crawling around on the floor, pinning it up different ways, looking at it. She looks, I look, back and forth like that. And I feel like we get the best results that way. The bride feels happy. She had a way to contribute to the experience. She was able to see the choices and walk around in it, most importantly. So, yeah, and then I get what you're saying. You rolled it under twice. Sometimes I stack it, though. I'll put, like, a triple bustle, and then I'll grab, like, if there's that long, pointy piece left, I'll grab that and stack another traditional on top of that center one. I've been having to do that a lot lately. The ones that have that really long, almost pointy train, that's what we've been doing, but every bride's different. So let's see. Irene, I'm right there with you. I don't like to make overcomplicated bustles either. And no, that's not too long for this session. That's actually perfect because if I needed to sketch, I could. Hannah Lee, hi everyone. Greetings from Cape Town. Good to have you, BST Bestie. And Susanna, here I go again with the what do I do with a Mikado gown that the bride is short-waisted thing again. Have one with a bad crunch at the back waist. No waist seam to shorten from. Oh no. And not anywhere near enough to let out smooth down and over the hips. She doesn't want gussets either. Plus, style lines that match at the hips. She wants to leave it. But any ideas if this happens again? Yeah, in that case, I have asked them if they want me to put a seam at the waist. And sometimes the answer is yes. And it can look pretty amazing. So it sounds to me like, Susanna, you covered all of the options, in the conversation with her. And, she chose what she likes. And sometimes it's like that, guys. Like, you're giving the bride everything she wants, but it kind of hurts a little bit when she goes because you're like, oh, that's sad. Like, I wouldn't have done it that way or whatever. But I like to keep in mind that I'm sewing for them, not for me. And so that's the only way that keeps me from being sad about that. But yeah, I have actually put a waist seam in a dress before because of that. Let's see. Terry is shortening the sleeves on a Melissa suite, this time from the shoulder. Oh, shortening from the shoulder. All right. Let's see. Nicole, I've been watching for you for years. I've always wondered what you look like. That's funny, Nicole. You ain't missing nothing. No, I'm just kidding. Like, whatever. I'm just like average normal person, I guess. I don't know. I just like to have a hands-only channel, but it's not the end of the world, obviously, if my face shows a little bit. And then a lot of people do follow both my sewing studio and my YouTube channel. So It can be either way. It doesn't really matter if people see my face or not. I'm not like dead set against it, if that makes sense. I just like having a hands only channel. That's just my vibe, and I feel like it helps keep my branding separate too. That's my main thing, the branding separate. And then, oop, look at that. Wait a minute. Oh, I can't get the things to go away. Look at the stink bug. Why can I not get the... Okay, wait. Look at that nasty creature. So anyways, if you do ever sign up for a retreat, be it in person or online, you'll actually get sick of my face because you'll see my face all week long. All right, let me get a paper towel for this. Take care of this bug. And then I do have to go soon, guys. Remember, my girl is coming back with the printer cartridge, and I need to run and help take care of that. So I don't want him to stink on the dress. Oh, good. Thank goodness I got him. We're getting attacked by stink bugs right now. We just got a real cold snap, and so they all came out. All right, let me see these other comments before I have to go. Let's see. Yeah, Nicole, if you DM me, I might even send you a selfie. Okay, let's see. Irene, I probably would look better in a selfie than I do when I'm at work, honestly. BST Bestie thinks I use the bustle method you described. I crawl around and try different looks. That's right. That's like my favorite way. So Susanna, thank you. Just got that confirmation. Gave me peace of mind. Yeah. So I feel like that's a lot of what happens is you just get confirmation and peace of mind. So whatever. It's funny you guys are saying that about wondering what I look like, because a lot of people, they'll say that they wondered, and so they like sleuthed me out online and try to find pictures and stuff like that. So it's so funny. And then other people are like, I don't want to know what you look like, don't spoil it, kind of thing. So anyways, I've got to go. My friend is back with the printer stuff. It was super great to be able to check in with you guys. And if you have any more questions, again, I know today was short. It was more like 30 minutes today. But if you have any more questions, leave them in the comments, or you can DM me. Irene's like, we all look okay. All right. Well, take care, guys. Have a great week. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.